Welcome back to Introduction to Biblical Greek at the Reformed Universalist Theological Seminary. This is Dr. William M. Brennan, your instructor. In Lesson 1, we learned the alphabet and breathing marks. Today, Lesson 2 introduces accents, their shapes, rules, and functions. Understanding accents is essential to reading, pronouncing, and eventually analyzing Greek words correctly. Originally, Greek accents indicated pitch, how the voice rose or fell. By the New Testament period, the musical tone had faded and accents simply marked stress. So, whenever you see an accent, place the spoken emphasis on that syllable. Greek uses 3 accent marks: the acute, which is a rising stress; the circumflex, a rise and fall on one symbol; and the grave, a lower tone replacing an acute on a final syllable when another word immediately follows. Remember that every Greek word has one accent, no more, no less. The location of the accent on a Greek word is designated by the syllable it's placed on. The accent never goes further back than the third syllable. These last 3 syllables are referred to as ultima, meaning the last syllable, penult, the second to last, and antepenult, the third to last. Here are some examples for illustration purposes. Logos, word. Notice the accent on the penult or second to last syllable. Oikos, house, a circumflex on the penult. Anthropos, man. Notice the accent on the antepenult or third to last syllable. And agape, accent on the penult or second to last syllable. Speak each word slowly and emphasize the accented syllable. When an accent and breathing mark appear on the same vowel, as with the word anthropos, the breathing comes first, except when the accent is a circumflex, which stands above the breathing. For example, oikou, which is smooth and acute, and oikos, where the circumflex is above the breathing. Now let's consider the 6 general rules of accents. Rule number 1, the acute can stand on any one of the last 3 syllables of a word. The circumflex only on one of the last 2, and the grave only on the last. Rule number 2, the circumflex accent cannot stand on a short syllable. Rule number 3, if the ultima is long, then A, the antepenult cannot be accented, and B, the penult, if it is accented at all, must have the acute. Rule number 4, if the ultima is short, a long penult, if it is accented at all, must have the circumflex. Rule number 5, a long ultima can have either an acute or circumflex. And rule number 6, an acute accent on the last syllable of a word is changed to the grave when followed without intervening mark or punctuation by other words in a sentence. At this point, the student is directed to refer to your textbook, J. Gresham Machen's New Testament Greek for Beginners, pages 11 and 12, for specific examples of these rules and how they work together. Now let's take a look at some special rules that apply to verb and noun accent. First of all, with respect to the verb, verbs have recessive accent. The rule means that in verbs, the accent goes back as far as the general rules of accent will permit. This rule definitely fixes the accent of a verb form. It is not necessary to know what verb the form is derived from or to have any other information whatsoever. Knowing that it is a verb form, one need only to look at the ultima. If the ultima is short, an accent must be placed on the antepenult, supposing the word to have as many as 3 syllables. If the ultima is long, an acute must be placed on the penult. Machen gives us examples of this on page 16 of our text. And with respect to nouns, the accent remains on the same syllable as in the nominative singular, so nearly as the general rules of accent will permit. This rule differs from the rule of verb accent in that it does not, of itself, fix the accent of noun forms. The accent on the nominative singular, the form given in the vocabularies, must be learned by observation for every noun separately, just as the spelling of the words must be learned. So much is merely a part of learning the vocabularies. But when once the accent on the nominative singular has been given, the accent on the other forms of the noun is fixed by the rule. And examples of this are provided on pages 17 and 18 of our text. Now for your homework, review the material and commit it to memory, read Lesson 2 in the Machen text, and complete exercises 1 through 3 at the end of the chapter, and prepare for Quiz 2 on the accents. Congratulations on completing Lesson 2 in Introduction to Biblical Greek. For our next lesson, we are going to study the present active indicative verbs.